Okay, time for an update. I got the motherboard in the case. It is now fastened down, obviously, and I have also now installed the Enermax cooler. Now, for right now, I just have it finger tight. In the instructions themselves, it doesn't say how tight to actually put it. It just says, tighten with the wrench. So I'm going to tighten it with the wrench, but I'm just going to do it snug, which is what these are as well. These aren't, I didn't get crazy, didn't crank them down or anything, but so far so good. Everything seems to be doing just well. I'm just a little nervous because the Enermax, there seems to be, before I tightened it down finger tight, there seemed to have been a lot of play as to where you could, there's a little bit of adjustment as to where to set it. I tried to eyeball it as close to the center as possible, but, it is these nuts down here, they hold the brackets on, those are finger tight as well, so far so good. See, moving on, I'm probably going to end up doing some of those now too. The wiring's on the back side over here, stuffed in under here. There's more of them under there. So yeah, so far so good. Another thing, I'm glad I got this case too, because it's that's a big cooler. Alright, hello, we're back for a little bit of an update. Ran into an interesting snag that I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal, but just to let everybody know what's going on right now, I just took the hard drive cradles out, as you just saw, probably during the high speed. I put in the terabyte, the 2 terabyte hard drives, there's 3 of them, so standard issue deal. Just you got the 2 screws there, and then the 1 screw in between. These ones down here were a bit of a pain in the ass. For the bottom one was a bit of a pain in the ass to get in there, but that's not too big a deal. These are in here, and these things aren't going nowhere. And they got the rubber grommets to keep them from vibrating, so it'll keep the vibration down. It works really nice. It's really great. You slip this in the case. It kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not that big of a deal. The issue that I just came across was when I was installing the 2.5-inch solid state drives. This is the second one. The other one's already in. And here's the thing. It says right on the box, includes 3.5-inch bracket right there. Here's the deal, though. The bracket is just a little tiny tray thing here. The deal, though, that's the issue, though, as I almost tip over my tray of screws, is that, look, it doesn't fit all the way in. It's only like 3/4 there. I mean, these grommets are enough to pop into the first latch, and then this is just sitting there. And there's no way to line up for any holes. I mean, it's just literally just sitting there. But here's the thing. The way I'm thinking and the way I'm looking, I'll look up, see if there's any kind of aftermarket, adapter bays to go. And if there is, I'll get them at a later date and put them in. But here's the thing, the way I'm thinking of it is that they're solid state drives, right? So there's really no vibration that they're going to be producing. They're not spinning. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. So the fact that it's just sitting there, I don't think will be too big of a critical issue. It's just, just a little irritating maybe from an aesthetic point of view. If anybody really looks at it and sees it, it's just kind of sitting there. I mean, this isn't going nowhere. The front grommets you have to pop them down in there with some pretty good force in order to bring the whole thing back out, and then you slip it in, and they snap down in pretty good. So it's not like it's any real issue of it falling out of the case. And given the fact that there's going to be these things don't produce any vibration, so I wouldn't think it's going to be too big of an issue. It's just a little strange that they say includes bracket for 3.5-inch drive, but then again, what 3.5-inch, drive bay only goes back to here? I mean, that's bizarre. There's only 3, the mounting points. They've got one for the end, one in the beginning, and one in the middle. I guess that's where you're supposed to fasten it, but I don't know what case would, have that, because these are standard issue hard drives, and they fit in there just perfectly fine. So, little bit of a strange snag. I don't think it's too big of a deal. They've got, the tiny little fasteners to fasten them to the thing, and they got more to actually, fasten them into the bays. But my case came with a ton of them, and they also come with the rubber grommets, so those are the ones I'm using. I don't think it's going to be too big of a critical issue. Something to look into for a later date, though. But a little bit of an update, so let's keep on rocking.